racing in St. Petersburg, Florida. Green is the call. Who gets the jump? Look at Newgarden on the inside. He's getting forceful. Bourdais goes the outside. Harvey swings wide in that pink car. And this is a hot spot. Can we tiptoe through here and get through cleanly?
Bourdais got into the back of Newgarden there at the turn 1 apex. They still continue on track. I don't know if there's any damage, but Rinus VeeKay has all kinds of pressure from behind.
Simon Pagenaud had a little bit of contact with his Frenchman, Sebastian Bourdais, but clean first lap so far. I like the way they're racing right now.
Graham Rahal to the outside of Alexander Rossi in the pink Auto Nation car.
And Rahal is fired up for a big weekend. He was pleased with the effort at Barber a week ago, but wants more points right here, right now at St. Pete. Mad scramble at the front. Herta and Harvey, exactly how they started. Newgarden, Pagenaud, Bourdais, and then Rinus VeeKay.
Guy who got shuffled back is Pato O'Ward. He went from 6th down to about 7th or 8th, so he lost out on the start. Will Power making positions already.
Sneaking by Ed Jones there.
So we got a run right here. Reds versus Blacks. See if Simon can hold off right here, but he's got a little bit of gap there. Must have used a little bit of push to pass.
Pagenaud's car got hit in the right rear. The team looked at it as he went around course, and they radioed back to him that it looks okay.
And Scott Dixon makes a move on O'Ward up the inside of turn 1.
That's for 9th, car 9, position 9.
Now O'Ward is really struggling. Starting on the black, harder tires. Took a little gamble, Townsend. Decided that he didn't want to use the reds, so for whatever reason, right now he's sliding backwards.
Yeah, Dixon on the softer red tires, Hunter Ray. So this is the part of the stint, a stint being the life of the tire, the first 30 laps or so, where the red tire is going to have an advantage. In about 5 laps, like I said, that's when I would expect the cars on black tires to start pressuring the red tire cars as the red tires start to wear out. They're softer, so they wear faster.
Power, Romain Grosjean in that Nurtec Honda for Dale Coyne Racing with Rick Ware Racing. And Jimmy is still trying to juggle it, trying to engage that. This is what happened. Have a listen.
Just locked it up and couldn't make the turn. Lucky he didn't get hard into the wall. A couple lights cars got, you see the black mark on the wall, got into the wall, but Colton Herta just brushed the wall. Pretty light tap, but you don't want to be doing any more of that. Bend the toe link.
And there's the caution, finally.
Full course yellow, pits are closed.
These guys that pitted like Will Power just got a big advantage of these guys that stayed out. That's going to cycle Colton Herta behind those guys that pitted.
We don't know how many of the leaders will actually opt to come to pit lane here.
14th, and this is Jimmy Johnson in the Carvana Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing.
Looks like it's at the hairpin at the last corner. A lot of guys have been going off there.
Can you back it out?
I think he stalled it.
I was circling, Paul, the flat spot on the right front tire, so I think that tells the story. Big right front lockup.
It won't go.
Stuck in first gear. He's letting the
You're in
clutch
first. Go back. Now you're in reverse. And it's not going anywhere.
So they're watching the telemetry from pit lane. Got to get the car to neutral, then hold the reverse button, pull the clutch in, select the downshift paddle on the backside, and you can see the hands of Jimmy Johnson working furiously as the car's still running. He knows he's losing valuable time.
The problem you got too, the longer it's sitting here running, it's going to overheat because these cars are meant to flow air over the radiators, and at some point it's going to overheat and he's going to have to shut it off.
Sometimes what you have to do is start to slip the clutch paddle as everybody's trying to race into pit lane before it goes full course yellow and the pits are closed.
Yeah, this opens the window, Townsend. You see Will Power, Romain Grosjean pitting here. They're going to get these red Firestones off and the primary tires on. And Power, they call him immediately to pit road. The longer Johnson sits there, they have to throw a caution at some point, so everyone trying to take advantage of that and pit before the caution comes out.
Will Power, Romain Grosjean in that Nurtec Honda for Dale Coyne Racing with Rick Ware Racing. And Jimmy is still trying to juggle it, trying to engage that. This is what happened. Have a listen.
Just locked it up and couldn't make the turn. Lucky he didn't get hard into the wall. A couple lights cars got, you see the black mark on the wall. There's really, Townsend, no access for the safety car to get over there without going out on the track. And then we got some Herta radio as well. Listen to this.
Looking tracks ripping up in turn 9. All right, copy that. Let's keep that to ourselves.
And there's the caution, finally.
Full course yellow, pits are closed.
These guys that pitted like Will Power just got a big advantage of these guys that stayed out. That's going to cycle Colton Herta behind those guys that pitted.
We don't know how many of the leaders will actually opt to come to pit lane here.
Restarts here down into turn one.
Get ready.
Could be pretty spicy. Listen to the call.
Green, green, green.
A lot of pickup on the tires as 24 cars go firing down into turn one. You can see marbles on the track.
Oh, big lockup by Bourdais. Nearly gets into the back of Simon again as VK was challenging him on the inside.
Graham Rahal in that blue and white United Rentals Honda right there. He's sizing VK up.
Oh, Rahal goes for the outside. Big, strong overtaking move on the outside. Oh, Rossi stuffs it on the inside of Scott Dixon right there.
VK blocked Rahal up the inside, but
Big dive on the inside. Takuma Sato on James Hinchcliffe. They hit. Wheel-to-wheel contact. And the Andretti Steinbrenner Autosport car.
Got a flat tire, flat front tire. So they hit wheel-to-wheel flush, Townsend. It could have knocked the valve stem off of that rim, and immediately it went flat.
yeah, I was surprised Hinch tightened things up like that in turn
Right
one.
front.
Sato was very much
Copy.
there. Wonder if Hinch knew that Sato was square up there. A lot of these cars, these drivers will have spotters down in turn one, giving them that information, just like on an oval. Let's take
Sato dives in, really no lockup, and then bang, wheel-to-wheel flush. And you see something come out of the wheel right there, probably knocked the valve stem off the rim, and then immediately the tire was flat. Watch something fly in the air here.
Might have knocked the wheel out of Sato's hands as well on the contact. You can see his hands come off the wheel. So pretty big impact. Here we go on board.
I saw the valve stem. See that silver valve stem?
Yeah.
Jump off the wheel right there?
Check this out, Romain Grosjean, Will Power. This is turn 10. It's wheel-to-wheel there, and Grosjean into the wall.
Oh, and then Ed Jones gets both of them.
And prior to that, Grosjean in that bright purple car chasing Will Power. Wow, so 2 walks laps within a lap for Romain Grosjean.
He's playing a game of bumper bowl. That 51
Oh, he hit the wall again.
Nerdcat car still hanging in there. That thing's tough, Paul.
Yeah, I'll say.
Hey guys, he clearly has a steering issue. He's radioed to the team a couple of times. I don't think I can hang on to it anymore. In fact, he's telling them right now, something is broken. I'm going to come to pit road.
He told me the reason he would not defend going down into the corner like that to stay in the line was because drivers like Sato, by diving down there, would pick up all the marbles. Didn't work out for him because he got the flat tire, but that's how he was defending, by not going down the line.
Rinus VK got a little wide there, and the kink nearly hit the wall.
Sato on the inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay. A couple of Indy 500 champs going at it.
Nice clean move from Sato. All these drivers know that pit stops are coming up soon. This is where the red tires are disadvantaged, and if you're on the harder black tire, you've got to make something happen right now, as these red tire cars are really struggling for balance.
Rossi just passed VK in the fast chicane. VK now is in deep trouble with the tires. Dixon looking down the inside. Watch this replay with Rossi here. This pass was insane.
Oh, VK with the...
Got to get through this chicane, get right to the tail of Harvey, and try to get a good exit. The red tires right now won't get the drive off the corner.
5 back.
Harvey doesn't pit. There you see Pagano, the 2 green lights
Push
on
to
the
pass.
steering wheel. Push to pass is on.
Yeah, he ran out of gear, Townsend. It hit the limiter there. So the gearing right now on the push to pass is a little bit too short to be able to pull alongside. He hit the limiter in top gear.
There's a big headwind coming down the front straightaway, so tough to guess what that head speed, that airspeed is going to be with a shifting and variable wind speed. Jack Harvey hangs on. I gotta think
This was earlier. Takuma Sato on the left on the 30, the 21 VK Pato Award in the 5. Marcus Ericsson has a front row view of all of that. Ed Jones goes right on the inside of Scott McLaughlin.
Got 2 outside.
And then this was that pass for Joseph Newgarden on Jack Harvey for second. The Hitachi Chevrolet squeezes up the inside of the Meyer Shank Honda. Coming On your way, Dave.
Here comes Seb, hits his marks perfectly. Crew goes to work. Pit stop should be between 6 and 7 seconds to get him on and off of pit road and back onto the streets of St. Petersburg. Big wing adjustment for Bourdais as he gets it fueled up.
Great, terrific first stint for Jack Harvey. He leads his pit stall as well. Got those red tires off, and they did an outstanding job kind of pacing everybody there. Yes, they were holding up the field a little bit, but now they're done with the reds for the day. Primary tires for the rest of the day.
Joseph Newgarden right now is clawing the lead. He's got it down to 1.7. He is flying right now. Herta still out there on the reds. Newgarden on blacks, closing the gap in a hurry.
That was Rinus VK, I believe. Remember that battle between VK and Award? Award out of the pits, but VK beats him on the over-under. Marty, here comes the leader.
Here comes the leader, Colton Herta. This was their goal, Townsend, to make it to lap 34 on pit road. You see him, followed by Joseph Newgarden. So 1 and 2 on pit road together, and we'll have to watch this blend. For Colton Herta, it's going to be sticker, primary tires, and also the same call for Joseph Newgarden. That means on the next stop, Newgarden must have those red tires, and let's watch this blend. It's always tough here at St. Pete.
That was sketchy. He was rolled away a little bit before the fueler was unplugged.
Had the wheels turned, ready for a quick exit. Good work, Andretti Autosport. It was Andretti versus Team Penske, and Herta was able to stay ahead of Joseph.
Got a pit on this lap. Got a pit on this lap.
In front of Harvey.
Rossi had a slow stop. The inside rear tire had a bit of an issue, and here comes Graham Rahal. Hot tires, cold tires, and big contact in the corner.
Rossi just turned in on Graham.
Flat tire.
Right front flat tire for Rossi.
Again, wheel to wheel, knocked the valve stem off the wheel, and Rossi now has a flat, and he's stalled.
And his right rear brake caliper is on fire. You can see the flames there.
So this is one of our stories from the top of the show. Drivers who needed
mode won't work.
to have a good race here in St. Pete. Alexander Rossi was one of those, and it's gone away from him.
Again, it won't go in reverse. You got to be so careful. You got to calm down and not rev the motor up when you put it in reverse. You don't want to be spinning the motor up. The car won't go into gear like that. And look at the brakes, so hot and on fire.
That'll go out as long as Rossi can get moving again. It needs airflow to put out the flames. There he goes. Paul, you can race side by side here. You can hip check, but you can't turn in on guys when they have the corner.
Especially when you know that they're on hot tires. And you got to be careful on a flat tire here, not trying to go too fast and end up in the wall. But I mean, he had a bit of a slow stop, and because of that, he knew he had to hustle on the outlap. Graham Rahal saw the opportunity, and rightly so, went down the inside. And Rossi turned in on him, and it was bang, wheel-to-wheel contact, and it knocked the valve stem off the rim.
Struggling, trying to get that car back on. There was
Dixon on cold black tires, but Sato, who's already made his last stop, is right there. Meanwhile, Dalton Kellett just inside the apex of turn 1, just outside the pit exit. He is safely out of the way. I would imagine that IndyCar will just leave him there.
Well, it's worked for Colton Herta and Joseph Newgarden. It has not worked out to plan today for Jimmy Johnson. The Carvana Honda stranded on the side of the track. Second time we've seen Jimmy in a situation today.
And this was the yellow that we kind of need to pack this race up and get something going. But that's the fastest section of the track right there.
Yeah.
Townsend, I got to think he just did a
story.
he did a pit stop, probably came out on cold tires and lost it, I would think.
You can see.
Well, he didn't come out of the pit, so. Hit the nose, so broken front wing, hit the rear of the car as well. I mean, that section of the track is so fast and it's so slick offline. If you just drop a wheel 1 inch too far into those marbles back there, you are going for a ride.
And we're ready to go again. It's time to bring the action here in St. Pete. Ready, green. Here we go.
Newgarden has to attack right now. He's got to use the extra grip that he's got with these reds. He's going to have a little look, but he wasn't close enough. Pagenaud right there on the back of Newgarden.
Oh,
big sideways there on cold tires.
I think the advantage is on the reds right now on this restart. Restarting on blacks here, it can historically be very difficult. So to your point, Paul, this is Newgarden's chance. You can see how close he's able to follow Herta.
Just a little bit more extra grip on these tires for a couple laps. He's got to utilize it and make the move if he can.
Before the yellow, and now we've got the 18 Sealmaster car of Ed Jones sideways and blocking the track, and Joseph Newgard and Simon Pagino are going to get another shot at Herta. The yellow's out.
Ed Jones in his return year to the NTT IndyCar Series, driving for Dale Coyne Racing with Vasser Sullivan. What has happened to Ed? It's over in turn 4. Was there contact? We're about to find out. Take a look at the right-hand side of the picture here. And this is Ed Jones, into the back of Pato O'Ward. So maybe that's where the frustration began. Brian Hunter-Ray has a good look at it here. And then just 3 corners later.
Can only imagine that maybe is there a chance he damaged the brake line with the first contact, because sort of 2 pretty over-the-top moves there, Paul. 2 corners in a row.
Needs a little bit of coaching on the chrome horn technique. Didn't work very well. So I think he just ran it in a little bit too hard both times, and just making mistakes. It's hot, it's slippery. We're coming down to these guys are getting wore out.
Racing again. Green flag is at the ready. This first turn is going to be the spot.
Green, green, green.
Good start by Newgarden and by Simon Pagino. Newgarden right there in the draft. Does he pop out? No, he decides not to.
A couple of cars side by side, 2 teammates. Will Power and Scott McLaughlin. Power squeezes through. McLaughlin's going to have the line. He lets him get it.
Oh, that was a lot of respect out of McLaughlin.
That's good clean racing right there. That's what I like to see. Sideways, hanging onto the car, trying to get the marbles off.
Every corner, every exit has been absolutely butter smooth in terms of rolling on the power and making the most of the Firestones, but not taking any more than what he has on offer.
Wow, like father, like son. He certainly drives a lot like his dad, Brian. Silky smooth, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, so push to pass now. He's going to try to lay down some fast laps now, bringing it home on the last lap, ensure that he's going to maybe go for fast lap of the race.
1 lap to go, less than 1.8 miles on what has been a spectacular day for Colton Herta.
Goes through the tight section of the track here, Lee. Nothing but concrete around you, but he's got such a nice gap, and once again, smooth, deliberate. Oh, maybe that's a little bit for show. That's the most we've seen all day.
I think he's on push to pass again. He's only a 10th off the fastest lap of the race, so I think he's going to try to go for that too and really put a cap on the weekend.
What a day. What a day. He told us a week ago, just get me to St. Pete. I want to get out of here now after that opening lap crash at Barber. Well, he has come back. He has responded emphatically. Colton Herta will win his very first street course race. Colton Herta at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete. Checkered flag.
He won, baby. Good job.
Mario and congratulate Brian. So the father and son now have 4 career victories together.
You just asked permission to do donuts.
He did, Townsend. He said, am I allowed to do donuts or not? And Brian said, of course, have at it.
And he's mastered the donuts as well. Look at that perfect right front tire locked up. Perfect donuts right there as well.